Can I start, please, with your team news ahead of the Chelsea match?
Team news are that we have 3 players not available. One is Coleman that started this week to train with the team. It's quite good, but I think that he will be available for the next game against Leicester on Wednesday. We have out Delph that suffered an injury against Burnley. We have out James that he didn't have. He had a little problem during the game against Burnley. He was not able to train this week. I think he will start to train next week. And so, but for this game, we don't want to take a risk.
I guess the fact that you're missing James is a big blow, given that you've got another couple of your key players out as well, in Coleman and Digne.
Yeah, but I'm not used to complain about the players that are not for the match. The players that are available for the match trained well, are in good condition. We understand that that will be an important moment, important test, not only tomorrow, but also in this period of December. And so I think we arrive at the game with confidence and with motivation.
You were forced in the Burnley match, Carlo, to move away from the back 3 that you started the match with and had played in the previous game as well, and then it became a 4 later on. Is that something you're likely to stick with, because it seemed to work for you?
I think that we have this option to play with 3 at the back, to play with 4. I think it depends on which kind of strategy we want to use for every single game.
And just looking at the fact that you're back at Goodison for the first time with some supporters there, I guess you guys are looking forward to that. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Because some of your signings, some of your players have never actually played in front of the fans before. So I know there's only a few thousand there, but I suppose it'll be nice for them.
I think it will be nice for everyone. I think it's a good start to reopen the stadium. We are really pleased to have, if there are only 2,000 supporters at Goodison Park, it will be really good and really nice, and I'm sure that they are going to support us for the game tomorrow.
Can I ask you 2 more questions, both away from Everton, if you don't mind? Firstly, the sad death of Paolo Rossi this week, a man who you, of course, played alongside for Italy. I guess difficult times learning of his death.
I am really sad because I didn't knew that he was. I knew that he was good. He was my teammate in the World Cup on '86 in Mexico. I spent a good time with him. I keep a fantastic memory of him because he was a funny guy. He was a funny people, really simple, really humble, and so. What can I say? I'm really sad, and but I keep a fantastic memory of him.
Very well said, Carlo. Finally, from me, can I just get your opinion, please, on the events in Paris on Tuesday night in the PSG Istanbul game when the players walked off? Is that something that you would want your players or you would do yourself if an incident like that happened with your team?
Of course, because I think that we are always involved against racism in football and everywhere, and I think it was a strong decision that the players and of Paris Saint-Germain of Istanbul take in that situation. I think UEFA has to investigate what really happened and work on this.
Thank you.
Olivia from Premier League Productions, please.
Hi, Carlo.
Hi.
You come up against Frank Lampard on Saturday. What have you made of the job he's done in charge of Chelsea?
I think he's doing really well. He did really well before Chelsea. He's doing really well. He did really well last season in Chelsea, is doing really well. Now he has a fantastic squad, a fantastic team, and so his job is really good.
And what's your relationship like now? Because Lampard actually had one of his best seasons in front of goal when you were in charge of Chelsea. What's that relationship now like, and how much are you looking forward to seeing him again and playing or having your teams play again?
Our relationship is changed because before it was a relationship between manager and player, and now is a relationship between colleagues, and so it changed a little bit. I am pleased and happy to see him again.
And you come into this game not in the greatest of forms, whereas Chelsea come into this game in really good form. Is your team going to have to be at the top of their game if they're to beat Chelsea? But you've actually got a really good record against them at Goodison Park as well.
Chelsea is in a really good moment. That I think that after a difficult start, they start to play like they want and like they are able to do. It is necessary for us fantastic and top performance. The question is, are we able to do this? The answer, my personal opinion today, is yes. We are able to compete.
Thank you very much, Carlo, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Alistair from the BBC, please.
Hi, Carlo. On games against Chelsea recently, obviously, the last time the Everton fans saw their team in action was at Stamford Bridge, where you lost 4-0. And also, before your time, just before your time, Duncan Ferguson was in charge of the team and led Everton to a 3-1 victory over Chelsea. I remember when you first came in, you said that Duncan brought fire to the team. Is that what the team is missing now?
But I have a good memory of both games, because one game I saw one game in television, and Everton did a fantastic job when they won 3-1 at home, and we did really bad when we played at Stamford Bridge. So of course, we need this kind of motivation that Duncan was able to put on the players, on the team, when they played against Chelsea. This will be a good start, a good step, a good base to have a good performance.
And obviously, you're welcoming fans back this weekend. But have you got any idea of how it's going to be different in the sense that only 2,000 in the stadium? Do you feel like it will affect players differently because they can hear individuals rather than big crowds? Have you got any experience of that and how to deal with it?
No, I don't have don't have experience of this. I think that players, staff, coaches are really pleased to have supporters at the stadium, and we are not used to have noisy, but I think that it will be a lot of noise because we are not used. But I think it's a good sensation for everyone.
And the last one for me, just obviously, I think it's 1 win in 6 now for your team. Are you worried by Everton's form at the minute?
To be worried means to take care of the problem that we have, and so we are working to take care of the problem that we showed in the last period. That was not, of course, a good period. I think that the last 3 games against Fulham, Leeds and Burnley, the team showed some good qualities. The table, we are where we want to be, so that means to fight for the position in Europe. There is a lot of competition now at the top of the table, but Everton is there, and so we want to be there as long as possible. It starts tomorrow really busy and important and difficult period, and so for us this is a really good test.
James Mountford, please.
Hello, Carlo. Just following on from that, how frustrating is it for you and the teams and the team with the lack of clean sheets, just the one in the league so far this season?
Yeah, of course, we are not happy. Only the first game we were with clean sheet. I think that was the problem. In the period we tried to solve this using different shape, different style, but as I said, we have to improve the attitude and the concentration defensively. And we are working on this, and honestly, I have to say that the players are all focused there.
His next goal, when Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets it, will be 15 for him in all competitions, and that equals his tally from last season. Given we're not even at Christmas yet, what's the biggest difference that you've noticed between him last season and this campaign?
He has more. It's quite clear. He has more consistency in the box, different from compared to the last season. He is really focused in the box in this moment. He scored a lot of goals, and in front for him also for the work that James or Richarlison did. We didn't have problem at the moment. I'm hoping the goals that Richarlison start to score goals like Dominic.
James at TalkSport, please.
Carlo, Alex Iwobi's played in a number of different positions since he's been at Everton. He's still trying to really make his mark at this football club. But how pleased are you by his versatility and his willingness to play in different roles?
I think when Iwobi is fit, he can play everywhere. Of course, on the right side, sometimes on the left. In this moment, I have a lot of confidence because his physical condition is really good, and he can help the team with his performance. He played wing back and he did well. He played as a winger and is doing well. So, in this moment, his condition is really good.
And finally, if I can ask you about the night you left Chelsea and the likes of Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba took you out for dinner and drinks. I just wonder what your recollections are, what your memories are from that night.
Long time ago, but a great memory. I think it was a fantastic gift from Chelsea players. We spent a good time there, and I still have for every one of them a really good memory. Not only Lampard, Drogba, but all the team was there, and I think it was a fantastic arrivederci.
We'll just take one from Carl Markham, please. And then we'll come to you, Louis, next.
Hi, Carlo.
Ciao.
Just to go back to the James situation, he's had such an impact on the team. I'm just wondering how much of a loss that is to you, and how much do you think the players will have to adapt to not having him on the pitch, because of the influence he's had on the play so far?
Yeah, but James is a fantastic player for us. He did really well at the beginning. He had some problem about after the game against Liverpool. He traveled a lot with the national team, and so his condition he went a little bit down. But we have to be, and we will be able to adapt the fact that he's not going to play. So we have a good squad. Maybe we are going to play a little bit different. But I think that we are able to support the fact that he's not going to play tomorrow.
Louis Restorapo, please.
You are on mute.
Just on mute, Louis.
Hola, Carlo.
Hola.
How are you?
Fine, you?
Very good, very good. A little bit cold, but very good. A couple of questions. The first one is, could you give us a little bit more details about the James Rodriguez injury and how long he's going to be out from the field, from the pitch, I mean?
He had the charge on his muscle after the game, on his calf, after the game against Burnley. He was not able to train. Nothing special. He was not able to train, so I don't want to take a risk to put a player that he was not able to train this week. So we have to look at him after the game if he will be available to train and to play against Leicester.
Okay, and finally, what is your opinion about the concept of some pundits who are saying that James Rodriguez doesn't contribute a lot with the defensive job in Everton, and is becoming like a Mesut Ozil, and they say this week?
What can I say? I say that we have signed James not to defend. So we have signed James to help the team to have better quality in front. I think that the job that he has done offensively was really good, and defensively, of course, I didn't ask him a lot of work, because if you ask him a lot of work defensively, you are going to lose him in front. It's like what I asked to Richarlison, nothing different. They have more or less the same position, James on the right, Richarlison on the left, and I'm not going to ask them a lot of work defensively, just to stay in position, to cover well the space, but after that, defensively are other players more involved, like Dominic Calvert-Lewin is exactly the same.